Hello beautiful soul and welcome back. This is day 14 in the 4 Bodies challenge. I am trying to be as authentic as possible on this channel and on my social media in general. So with that in mind, I did not feel like showing up today, but I am here and I'm already feeling so much better for just taking that step and showing up. I've had a on and off migraine combined with a virus all week, and it's just thrown me completely off balance. And I've got this energy that's like get shit done energy. Like I really want to make stuff happen, create content, but then my body is telling me to do the opposite because it's like brought me down with all of these random illnesses or just pains, discomfort, whatever you want to call it. But I know that when I show up, when I push myself sometimes through those barriers, it does make me feel a whole lot better. And there's a fine line, right, between pushing yourself and resting. And I'm hoping that is something that you're learning throughout this challenge, to get more in touch with that and just trusting yourself. And today is one of those days where I'm feeling so inspired, but my body is kind of like feeling drained. But I know that this is not strenuous and I can show up, I can share, and doing this always makes me feel so good. It makes me feel inspired and gives me energy. So I think this could be healing for me to show up today. So thank you for bearing with me if you've been following the challenge, because I've been a little bit AWOL a few times this week, but I'm feeling like there's a shift happening, and this is potentially why I'm off balance a little bit physically. And this is an empowering perspective for me to choose, rather than assuming that there's something wrong with me or kind of giving into the illness almost. So with that in mind, I want to talk about the spiritual body today. This is an exciting one. I think this is where so much of our power actually lies, and this really lights me up to talk about this. And this is why I knew that showing up today was a good idea, because as soon as I started thinking about it and planning what I was going to share with you, I felt that sense of excitement and that inspiration and that energy. And that is basically what it is. So if I were to describe it, because this is the thing that cannot really be described with words, the spiritual body, it's a connection to something that goes beyond our physical senses and beyond words. But if I had to, I would describe it as the space that exists between our thoughts. And I would describe it as inspiration, connection, alignment. And I would describe it as a connection to something bigger, a connection to our true power, a power that exists within all of us and connects all of us. Maybe this resonates for you, or maybe you have a different way of feeling into this and describing it. But whatever it is, I think we all have this innate knowing that there is something bigger out there that we can connect to. And a lot of what I teach and I share is about finding that connection, because when you have all of your 4 bodies in alignment, when you're working on them simultaneously, it allows you to cultivate this connection more deeply. Now, I want to go through some of the ways that I connect to my spiritual body to hopefully inspire you. And you might already do some of these things anyway on a daily basis, but not really connect them to spirituality. But as I said in the beginning, this is about presence. This is about the space that exists between the thoughts. So this is the no mind stuff, and this is pure presence, in those moments of pure presence where you can feel something deeper. So the first way that we can connect is through the breath. This is one of the most powerful ways that we can get into those spaces between the thoughts, and we can let go of the thinking mind, purely connecting to the breath. So take a moment now. I want you to close your eyes down. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Let out a big sigh, and then let the tension leave your face and your shoulders. Beautiful. Now breathe in slowly through the nose. And breathe out slowly through the mouth. Breathing in again, this time really paying attention to that inhale, following it from the beginning to the end of its journey with as much focus as you can. And the same with the exhale, following it along its journey from the beginning to the end. And now one more breath, this time connecting to that pause at the top of the inhale and just noticing that moment of pure stillness. And again, noticing that moment of stillness at the end of the exhale. Beautiful. Just keep your eyes closed down and notice how you feel. Take a few more conscious breaths in and out. I'm going to get you to keep your eyes closed down. I'm going to move into another practice that helps you connect to the spiritual body, but I want you to just observe how you're feeling from this short process of focusing on the breath. Now, one breath in and out can be a connection to this power, a connection to source, a connection to God, to spirit, whatever it is that you would like to call it, whatever resonates. And you might even be able to just sense that now. It might be powerful, it might be subtle, but become aware of how it makes you feel to just take that time to focus on the breath. Keeping the eyes closed down now, tuning into your heart space at the center of your chest. This is another powerful way that I love to connect to this power, to the spiritual body. And I want you to feel the energy rising. So as you breathe down into the belly, feel the belly and the rib cage expand. And then as you continue to breathe in, feel it rising into the heart and feel this expansion through your heart center, through the chest. Feel that energy as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, just allow your heart space to soften and relax, noticing any tightness, any tension, any heaviness in the heart. We can really hold a lot of emotion in the heart center, a lot of heaviness, and we can close up, we can hunch over. One of the best ways to open the heart, which is such a good way to build this connection, is purely through intention and focus. So this is so powerful. I've started doing this process in the morning for 30 minutes before I get out of bed, and it is just so incredible how this impacts my body, the emotions that I'm able to access, how light I feel, how much appreciation I feel, how much love I can tap into, compassion, all of those things, and how I move throughout my day. I move throughout my day with so much more lightness and presence, and things just seem more beautiful. And this is that connection, and it can be a really simple practice. It could be 10 minutes, 20 minutes. It doesn't have to be 30 minutes, but the longer that you practice this for, the more powerful it is, most likely going to be, or the better you're able to strengthen that muscle to connect to this feeling. So let's just take a few more of those beautiful heart-centered breaths in. Feel the expansion as you breathe in into the belly, into the heart. Imagining maybe a pure white light expanding through the chest, and then exhale and release. Inhale, breathing into the belly, into the heart. Feel the heart expand, connect to feelings of love, compassion, gratitude, and exhale, soften and relax. If there's anything you're holding, any tension, any resentment, any kind of contraction, let it go. I think a lot of this comes down to tuning into expansion over contraction, because expansion is when we are connected to that energy, connected to source, and contraction is more of an ego kind of fear-based sensation. Beautiful. You can keep your eyes closed down if you want to continue to listen to the rest of this video in that state. Maybe continue the heart-centered breathing, focusing on the breath. I'm going to run through a few more of the ways that I love to nurture this connection. So the next one is music. Now, I have this really just strong connection to music that I've had for most of my life, and I can remember when I was really young, like sitting in the back of the car with my headphones on and just going into my own world and having this feeling of pure connection and possibility, and that's the only way that I can describe it. And I've carried that with me, and I know that music is something that so many of us can enjoy and appreciate. But I think there's different levels that you can go into when you truly get present with it and you allow yourself to go fully into it and you really, really listen. There's so much that can resonate with a song. You can resonate with the lyrics, you can tune into the sounds, and you can notice what emotions and sensations and energies it brings into the body. It can be so healing to bring music into your life on a daily basis, in an intentional way. So not just background music, listening to the radio while you're driving, but for me it's a case of putting my headphones in so that I'm fully immersed in it and then going deeply into it and just tuning into the body, tuning into the sensations, and allowing myself to just listen for the pure sake of listening. A lot of the time this connection is even stronger for me when I'm driving or when I'm, on a motorbike now that I'm in Bali, but also just here in my apartment. I can get so high from this feeling of just immersing myself in music, and it's just beautiful. It's a wonderful thing. So this is the third way that I like to nurture my spiritual connection. The fourth way is combining movement with music, dance, and I also do this every single day. This is something that I often forget, and I'll do it consistently for weeks and weeks, and it'll be part of me and it's part of my everyday routine, and it lifts my vibration and it just fills me with so much joy and connection, and then I'll just somehow get knocked off balance and forget how important this is to me, and then I can go months without doing it. And then when I come back to this practice of dance and music, I don't know why I ever stopped doing it, because of how it makes me feel, and I could honestly just do it all day long on my own in my apartment and be in a very blissful, happy state. So I think movement and just free movement, without any inhibitions, and this is just a beautiful way to connect to your body. You don't need to be doing it with anyone. You can do this purely on your own, and sometimes it's better because you don't have the same inhibitions or self-consciousness when you're on your own. So you can just be free with it. You can move your body in any way that feels good. This is such a good way to connect to your body, connect to energy, moving, and build that spiritual connection. And this kind of leads into the next point, which is number 4, I think. And that is to do something purely for joy, without any other reason for doing it. And this is dance and music for me, and singing as well. I started having singing lessons last year, and I haven't resumed them. And I'm not going to burst into song for you right now, but who knows, maybe one day I'll have that confidence. But when I started my singing lessons, my singing teacher asked me what my intention was. She said, do you want to go to open mic nights? Are you thinking of setting up a band? And I was like, no, I just love singing, and I want to be good at it. I want to nurture this skill so that it feels even more nourishing and powerful. And I still do sing, but it's something that I am not confident enough to necessarily share yet. But this is just something I do purely for joy. I don't need anybody else to hear me singing. And this could be absolutely anything. It could be dance, it could be singing, it could be music, walking. That has just the pure intention of being in the present moment and being with it and doing it without trying to reach a goal or trying to impress somebody or trying to necessarily improve that skill, but just to be in the moment with it and embrace it and enjoy it. This connection to spirituality and something bigger, I see in other people. And I believe that that's because this light is within every single one of us. And when you truly connect with another human, and that connection comes from being really, really present and listening and, you know, eye contact, and maybe there's like physical touch, whatever it is that helps you build that connection. Vulnerability. There's so many ways that we can increase our connection with other people, but I feel this connection with other people, and often the times when I'm most present is when I'm in these situations with other people and I'm fully immersed in a conversation that feels exciting and inspiring, and I'm not... This leads nicely actually into the next one, which is something that I call unattached appreciation, and it's having such a deep appreciation for something, and this can play out in a relationship with a person without the attachment, without needing anything back from them, just having pure appreciation and feeling joy because of their presence and their existence, and that connection, that light that's within them that you can see. Some people might say that they can see God in another person, or, you know, they can feel the other person's energy, and this is what I'm talking about. And I think often we go into relationships, and if that person's not giving us what we think they should, or, you know, we're not getting something back from that person, it causes us to feel triggered or feel negative towards them, or think that, you know, we're in some way entitled to something. And yeah, there should be a fair energy exchange between two people, but you can also find a place where you're just in complete unattachment, and this is actually really healthy, and you don't need anything from that other person. You can just purely appreciate them, appreciate their presence when they're there, without needing them to fill up your cup, because we so often seek that from other people. We want them to give us something and fill our cup up, make us feel better. And of course, this is fine to rely on people to help you and to guide you and to inspire you, and maybe on occasions to fill up your cup when you really, really need someone to lean on. But I think we need to also focus on this feeling of just deep appreciation for another human being, for their soul, for who they are, for everything that they bring, and having a complete feeling of unattachment, not detachment, unattachment. So unattachment is healthy. It's, you know, you're not seeking anything from that person. You don't need anything in return. It's not about you. It's just about presence and appreciation. The last one for me is writing, journaling. I'm obsessed with it. If you know me, you know that I carry about 5 journals around with me all the time, and I have journals for different things, and when I write, I feel inspiration flow through me. I shift the way that I feel. I can change my mood. I can connect to my desires. I can connect to future me and future versions of me and future realities, and I can feel something really exciting. It's possibility. And there's loads of different reasons why I write, but a lot of it is because of how good it makes me feel, and because it helps me to build that connection. And just connecting to words that are in line with your highest self, or in line with this version of you that is spiritual and, you know, hasn't got all of the ego stuff going on, you know, the fear and the self-doubt and the separation. It's about connecting to that, or releasing that stuff and connecting to the other stuff. That's basically the foundation, I would say, for most of my writing. And then just sharing this with other people, when it flows out of me, it just feels really nourishing. And again, when you really connect to that inner part of you, and this can take practice with writing, it doesn't always come straight away. It is like you are communicating or connecting to your soul, and your soul is expressing itself, and it's like you become a channel for this spiritual aspect of yourself to express itself. And this is just one reason why journaling to me is so powerful and a non-negotiable in my life every single day. And I urge you to start a journaling practice if you haven't got one in your life. There's so many different layers and directions that you can take. And above anything else, it can help you to move towards what you want and connect to what you want and get clear on what you want and reach your goals. You usually desire something. And journaling, I think, helps you to bring that stuff out of here onto paper, and then it's grounding. It brings it from up here, it brings it down into the body, into the physical reality. So that is it for today. It's purely to open your mind to these different ways that you can connect more deeply to your spiritual body, hopefully, and to inspire you to maybe integrate some of this stuff into your day, or just to see certain activities with a different intention and how they can help you to nurture and build that connection. Because this is living. This is where we get into that space where we're just in pure presence and appreciation for life. We're not in our heads, we're not stressing, we're not in anxiety. We are experiencing the emotions that we came here to fully embrace and experience. And I think we too often do not make time for this stuff. And ultimately, it's the most important thing to live. So thank you for watching this video. This is something, as you can tell, that I'm really passionate about, and I hope it inspires you. Let me know in the comments if you do have some of these practices. What other practices do you use to connect to your spiritual body? Because then I know that there are loads more, and there's no like right or wrong. And yeah, I'm super interested to know, so let me know. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for day 15.